Hi, I'm Theresa Brooks, and I have been sharing my cancer journey. I had shared up to or left Kentucky, and I sold my home in Kentucky after 25 years and moved to New Mexico because I had family here. My brother and his wife, and my nephew and his wife, and so I'm going to share some of what's been happening, or what happened when I got here. So I got here, I left Kentucky April 1st, and I went to see the oncologist here, and just went to see the surgeon, and I kept putting off the chemo. And one evening, my brother and my family had some friends over for dinner that had wanted to meet me since I was here, and it was really good. I hadn't been thinking about any alternatives or anything. All I knew was what everybody knows with cancer is chemo and radiation, and I thought I was going to have it, and well, they're still telling me I have to have it. But so one of the people that was here, she had previously had thyroid cancer, and the doctor had told her that she would need surgery and chemo, and I believe they told her she needed chemo, and she refused the traditional treatment, and the doctor told her she wouldn't survive. I don't know what stage it was. I just know that he had told her that she wouldn't live a year if she didn't have treatment. But she left, and she did not. What she did was a radical change to her diet. She stopped eating animals, no meat, no dairy, no processed foods. She eats a plant-based diet, and she made all these life changes, and a year later she went back and the test, she did not have cancer anymore. The tumor had gone, and the doctors couldn't believe it. So she has never gone back. So then she shared that diet with me, and I started, which I was pretty much plant-based anyway, but before I came to New Mexico, I was pretty much a junk food vegan. Everything I ate went into a microwave. It was all, the freezer section, it was just me and my mom. We lived together, and pretty much everything we ate. We did drink shakes that we made with fresh fruit, and a lot of frozen fruit, and a lot of frozen vegetable mix. And then I started somehow checked into Dr. Livinggood. And Dr. Livinggood, I started reading this book, and I started learning a whole lot about toxins and toxic food, and then quit the processed, which here they didn't really eat much processed. So when I got here, my diet had changed anyway, because my family was vegetarian. And then my sister-in-law got me this book, and this is a very good book. It's got a lot of good information, and it will teach a lot about seriously how to heal. Both of these, Dr. Livingood and the Gerson therapy, which the Gerson therapy, Dr. Max Gerson, he has this protocol, and he teaches a lot about it's all healing from the inside out, and you can't heal the body without getting rid of all the toxic stuff, and you got to know what all the toxic stuff is. You know, you look at most processed food, it's either in a can or it's in a plastic bag. Well, we know I used to hear stuff all the time, and I would just disregard it. It's like, I'm going to eat whatever I want to eat, and I'm not going to change nothing. Well, I ate what I wanted to eat. I did what I wanted to do, and I ended up with cancer, heart disease, lung disease. I had heart failure in 2009 that landed me a pacemaker. So, and at that time, see, doctors, all they do is cover everything up. Everything is a drug. There's a drug for everything. There is nothing there's not a drug for. But all those drugs, it all covers up. It masks the symptom. It doesn't fix anything. It doesn't cure anything. Chemo doesn't cure cancer. They know chemo's not a cure, and neither is radiation. None of these medicines cure anything. They cover everything up, and they cause other issues. I mean, on the last video I did, I shared the side effects of a medicine that they had given me, because I did end up having a mastectomy. And after I had the mastectomy, I started having problems with my right leg. My right leg felt numb, and it was numb and tingling, and then when it wasn't numb, it hurt. And so when I called about that, they gave me a drug. You know, they actually scheduled me to have a nerve conduction study, because of course it sounds like nerve damage. But the pill they gave me, the medication, some of the side effects was, okay, I just had a mastectomy. I don't know what anybody else has went through after having a mastectomy, but there is a mental side to it. I mean, there's some emotional stuff that goes on with that. I mean, maybe for some, there's no emotional, but for a lot, I'm guessing there's probably a lot of emotional of our own that is going to come with having a mastectomy, whether it's a single or a double. Either way, there's an effect. Anyway, so the side effects of the medication that they gave me was suicidal tendencies, depression, things like that. And it's like, okay, I'm feeling down already, and you want to give me something that's going to give me suicidal thoughts, and then not only that, it's a medicine that was actually for seizures. So it's saying that once you start it, you shouldn't just stop it, because it might cause seizures. And it's like, I don't have seizures, so I'm going to take a medicine that can cause me to have seizures. And then it's just like, I know there's a whole lot of controversy and stuff, whether vaxxed or unvaxxed, and I don't really care if my thing is, one of the side effects of the vaccine is blood clots. I have a history of blood clots. The benefits do not outweigh the risk. I mean, I did get COVID when my mom was sick. My mom was sick, she was bedbound, and I got very, very sick. Actually, it was last year on my birthday at this time. My birthday is the 18th, and for a couple of weeks while I was taking care of my mom, I wore a mask, and I was very careful, and my mom did not get sick. But I survived, and so the possibility of blood clots, I might not survive, so the benefits to me do not outweigh the risk. You know, and then there's the ingredients. I've got an issue with that too. But when you get all these medications, all they do is cover stuff up and eventually can cause other problems. Just like the chemo. You know, they want me to do chemo. One of the ingredients in chemo is mustard gas. And I know a lot of people, my dad had chemo. You know, I'm pretty sure that people probably don't normally look up the ingredients of this stuff, but I have actually looked up the ingredients, and I'm looking at the ingredients list, and I'm just like, oh Lord, have mercy, how could they even want to inject that into anybody's body? But yet they do. I mean, you know that chemo is so toxic, it causes you to lose your hair. So imagine what else it's doing on the inside of your body. So chemo can cause heart disease, lung damage, you know, and then it can also cause other cancers to develop. Radiation side effects, heart damage, especially if you're having radiation for breast cancer and you're having it in the lymph nodes. It can cause heart damage, lung damage, and it can cause other cancers. So you do chemo or radiation in your lymph nodes to get rid of cancer in the lymph nodes around the breast, and you can then later you could end up with pancreatic, liver, colon, any other cancer. It can go somewhere else. So like I said, the cancer that I have, the HER2 positive, it's a very aggressive cancer, and it can come back. We already know that it can come back anywhere, anytime. So do I want to do something that is going to even push it further that it can come back? No. So the Gerson and Dr. Livingood, they both talk about all the you know, they both talk about medications and trying to help a person get off of the medication. And when you're healing the inside, you're healing everything. You're not just, so like right now, my brother and sister-in-law have been doing this program with me, and they both had problems with some really bad arthritis in their hands, and they are both praising God all the time that both of them, their hands, the rheumatoid arthritis is healing. And here's another one. My brother, you know, guys, hair loss. My brother's hair is growing back. I mean, so this is working on my brother's hair. It's working on their rheumatoid arthritis. It has worked on my friend's thyroid cancer. And here's one for me. Before I had surgery, you know, when I was diagnosed in January, they were telling me that chemo, radiation, any of it was going to be very dangerous for me in the first place because I have a weak heart. They kept focusing on the weak heart. It was like no matter what, whether it's chemo, radiation, or surgery, it's all going to be very, very risky. So that terrified me too, because the doctors tell me that, yeah, I could just stay right there in Kentucky and do this all by myself. The risks were so bad for me to do it alone, and just the risk. So I didn't stay in Kentucky and do that. I came here, and then I'm learning here about this stuff. And in the process, we've even learned that, I think I'm all over the place right now. Even some of our shampoos, I was blown away by this. Some shampoos have formaldehyde. Y'all know what formaldehyde is? It's in embalming fluid. It's in the floors. It's in so many things. It's amazing. So some of the things that we have done, we have changed our toothpaste. We have changed deodorant. We have changed shampoos, conditioners, laundry detergents. All of these things have really bad chemicals in them that cause cancer and other illnesses. I mean, look at the cleaning stuff we use. I was involved in animal rescue. So before I started using this stuff called rescue spray, I used a lot of bleach, Clorox wipes, all these different sanitizing things, and they all got really toxic chemicals in it. There's actually a website, I can't think of what it is right now, but I'll find it, and on my next video I'll tell what that website is. But there's a lot of healing going on here. And so also, I said I did before, all the way up to, I started working this program, but I was still nervous about the tumor, because I had a pretty good sized tumor. And I figured with doing all this Kirsten therapy and the living good, that I figured I could boost it by getting rid of the tumor itself. So I had the surgery July 6th. I did have a mastectomy, but going up to the surgery, they were continuously telling me that my heart was weak. I was on oxygen. I was having such a horrible time breathing here. I didn't go anywhere without oxygen here. And as you can see, I'm not struggling to breathe. I'm not on the oxygen all the time. I'm actually considering sending my oxygen back because I haven't been needing to use it. And after having the mastectomy for a couple of weeks, I was not able to take care of everything by myself. There's no way I would have been able to recover back in Kentucky and take care of my animals and everything. That would have been horrible. So after the surgery, they did say, the heart doctor did authorize it, the lung doctor authorized it. They both said it would be okay, but still saying that they were weak. So a little while after the surgery, I was constantly doing the little pulse ox, checking everything, and I went to get the little portable oxygen thing, and when I went to get the portable, and he was checking, my pulse was dropping into the 50s, and that didn't make any sense to me because my pacemaker was set at 69. So my pacemaker was set at 69, so my pulse should never drop below 69. And come to find out, I called the doctor. I was thinking that because I just had my pacemaker battery replaced in December also, before I had the biopsy, a couple days before the biopsy. So I was both actually recovering from both. I had the pacemaker replaced and then the biopsy for the cancer, right, a couple days apart. And so I called the doctors and I'm like, my pulse is dropping pretty low and I don't understand this. And come to find out, my last pacemaker test, they said that my heart rate was normal. So they had turned my pacemaker down to 50 because my heart rate was good and my actual heart was fighting with my pacemaker because my heart rate was staying up there enough that I wasn't needing the pacemaker. I mean, now I'm not going to get rid of my pacemaker, but they have put it down to 50 and my heart rate is doing fine. So with this diet and eliminating all the toxins that we have done, it is helping arthritis, it has helped my heart, it has helped my lungs. I can breathe better. My heart is I mean, I'm still really tired a lot, but I mean, it's been just 8 weeks since, it's been almost 2 months since my surgery, and you know, surgeries take a lot out of you. And then to think back, oh, and that was another thing, you know, when I had the surgery, I was afraid that they had told me that if they wanted to put me under full anesthesia, but there was a risk that I could end up on a ventilator and not come off. So they had me, I went into surgery with all these fears that I was going to end up on a ventilator, that my heart wasn't going to make it. So when I had the mastectomy, they did like the twilight, you know, the slight knockout, not all the way. And so when they did the mastectomy, they removed the tumor, and she also removed 8 lymph nodes, 2 of which had cancer in them. And a lot of precancerous cells around the actual tumor. So they removed all of that, and I'm waiting right now on blood work. I'm going to go this week and have the cancer markers test to see where I'm at. But I'm not doing chemo, I'm not doing radiation, I am doing this diet. And this diet is all plant-based, whole foods, plant-based, non-GMO, strictly organic. We eat nothing processed, and we do juicing. We do 10 to 13 juices a day, and soup and salad. Everything is produce, everything is fresh. I think it's like 90% raw. But I also found ChrisBeatCancer.com. Chris Beat Cancer, Chris with doing diet, he healed stage 3 colon cancer with strictly the same kind of thing, eating giant salads every day, the juicing, and detox. And if you go to chrisbeatcancer.com, you can learn all about Chris work. I have learned so much from Chris, and you know, so many people have healed cancer and other diseases too. Through Dr. Livingood's book, he has people who have gotten off of all these toxins and stuff, have healed blood pressure problems, diabetes. I mean, when you're healing from the inside out, you can pretty much put anything in place of the word cancer. And if you actually get rid of all the toxins in your environment, in your life, in your diet, you can heal a lot of things. Now, I'm not a doctor. I don't know. But I know that my heart is healing. I know that my lungs are healing. I know that Chris healed stage 3 colon cancer. You know, stage 3 colon cancer, you don't usually beat that. My friend beat thyroid cancer, you know, rheumatoid arthritis. I mean, my heart and lungs are a testimony in themselves. And I am pretty sure when I go for that blood work this week, I am pretty sure it's going to come back really good. And I will do a video when it comes back, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm not really sure how long these videos can go, but I'm going to close for now. And if you're watching, God bless you. You can subscribe to my page if you'd like, or you can find me on Facebook. Theresa Brooks. I think it says that I live in Inez, Kentucky, but I am now in New Mexico. It was all about animal rescue, but I had to quit animal rescue to come here. And so I wanted to share, what I was wanting to share today was some healing stories, because I thought that it was pretty important. I wanted to share about my own healing and my family and what we're doing. But yeah, the juicing is so important. But check it out, Healing the Gerson Way, Charlotte Gerson, and it's an incredible book. You know, I'm not promoting it for any reason except that I think that it works, and I've actually bought it and sent it to several of my friends. I just sent it to one of my cousins, hoping that it can bless her as it did me. And one of my good friends on Facebook, I've sent it to my brother, and you know, one of my brothers. I gave it to my nephew for his birthday, and I'm just truly hoping that others can learn. If I can help one person, it makes it all worth it. And if you're watching this video, God bless you and thank you. If you want, you can subscribe to my page and follow my journey. This is my cancer healing journey. And just thank you for watching. God bless.